morning. I'm in Newton on the Moor. It's Newton on the Moor parish. All the walks today. There's 4 rights of way. The 127.07, 127.08, 127.09 and 127.27. It's roughly 5 to 5.5 miles. Sun's shining. It's cold. But I'm looking forward to a couple of hours of good walking. Okay, I've just crossed the A1. It's a lot quieter than usual. But yeah, I got to cross fine. And I'm now on the 127.07. See the sign there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross this field to the dip down there and then come back, and when I get round the other side on the 127.09 I'll come down the other way. I will have done that. It's the easiest way to do it. Right, I've done there and I'm on my way back across this ploughed field. That's the right of way finished. I've now got a short bit of road walking, only about 300 metres. I've now reached High Hazen House, which is just a cluster of farm buildings. That was 1.5 miles on the 127-07 and I really enjoyed that. It was good fun. I'm about to go on to the 127-27. It's one of them there and back again. It's about 400 metres each way. So I'm going to walk it again. It's stuck in the middle of nowhere and I don't want to have to come back just to finish that off on its own. So I'm going to do it now. Okay, that path behind me is the 127-27. I've reached the end now, so that's that complete. I'm just going to walk the 502 metres back to the start where that junction is. Okay, I'm now at a place called Whittle. I've walked about 1 mile along the road to get to the start of the 127.08. Hiya! This is Whittle Quarry. It hasn't been a used quarry for several decades. You can see the building there, a kiln on the right hand of the picture, and the old slag heaps. Okay, I've now reached the point where the 127.08 intersects with a 127.09. I did the first half before across that farmer's field. This is the second half. It's slightly longer, maybe 300-400 meters each way, but I should be back at this point in about 10 minutes time. Okay, this is the point where I left the 127.09 last time, so that's the entire path now done. This footpath now behind me is the last of the 127-08. This kilometre will take me back to Newton on the Moor. Just had to come down that steep bank there and cross this river. I got wet feet. There's no bridge. I'm still on the 127.08 and I'm currently walking through Lower Newton Hall. As you can see, I'm back to my car. 5.2 miles. Good day. See you in a couple of days' time, hopefully. Good afternoon, it's the 29th of January 2021. It's atrocious, the weather outside. Today I'm just mopping up in the east of the rights of way. I've got 5 to do today, and that'll be all the rights of way on the east of Alnwick completed. I'm probably not going to post any videos because it's raining and because the weather's bad, and there's probably not going to be much to see other than some grass on the ground and some mud. Good morning. I've just left a place called High Buston. Today's routes are all centred around there. There's 3 loops, probably between 10.5 and 11 miles. It's a bit cloudy, but it's set to be dry for most of today, and I've got some great views over the coast behind me. This muddy route through the farmer's field is the right of way 122-16. I appreciate the farmer putting this route through his field, but it's muddy. This is the 122.18 to finish. I did the majority of this particular right of way about a month ago. So it's just the last 400 metres. This is still the 122-18. Leads to the road in about 300 metres. This is High Buston. There's only about 20 houses, but it's quite pretty. Okay, this wall of shrubbery, thorns, is the right of way. I'm going to have to find an alternative because there's no way I'm going to be able to clamber through that. So I'm probably going to have to leave the right of way temporarily and find a way around this. Okay, that wasn't too bad. The shrubs are on behind me there. They're only literally about 10 metres thick, but there was no way I was going to be able to get through them. But I've ended up on this fairly nice path. That's the 137-43 now complete. Just a little bit more road walking before I step onto the next right of way towards Low Buston. I'm a little bit out of breath. That was tough. It's wet and boggy. My feet are muddy as hell. And the brambles, thorns were quite dense in some parts, so that was a little bit difficult. That's me nearly done with this particular right of way. Just got to work my way through this paddock. There's a couple of horses. I'm hoping they're friendly. I'm now on the 137-32. There's a sign there saying this permissive footpath or this permissive right of way ended on April 2020. So I'm not quite sure whether I should be on this path, but we'll see what happens. It's only about half a mile, so I'm hoping on a Saturday morning I can get back to where I want to be without upsetting the landowner. I made it. I didn't get shot. It's strange because despite that sign, there is a line running through the field which would indicate that the landowner does maintain that right of way. So I'm pleased I chose to do it. This right of way from Buston Barnes is the 137-33. That impenetrable wall of thorns that I encountered about 3 miles ago, I have to encounter again in the opposite direction to get me back to High Buston. Difference here this time seems strange, but when you get on the other side of the thorn bushes, there's there's another right of way. Sorry, I slipped there. There's another right of way, but unlike the first way through that field, which is a bridle way, this one's a public footpath. It's probably only about 10 metres from the bridle way, but it does count as a separate right of way, so I'm going to walk that on the way back. Once I work my way back through this wall of thorns. You can probably see that gate behind me. That's the path that leads through that impenetrable wall of thorns. I clearly just missed it before when I came down, so I'm pleased I found it. Should make life getting back through there a lot easier onto that that footpath right of way. I'm now back in High Buston. 2 loops down, 1 more to go. This is the start of the 103-14. Fighting your way through these wet reeds. I'm just about to go into this railway tunnel down there. I suspect it's probably going to be quite muddy. I'm just approaching a place called Wooden, which is on the 122-25 right of way. It goes from the A1068 road to Wooden Farm. I finished that right of way, and I'm now on the 122-18 for a couple of hundred metres. That's that right of way to finish, and then that leads on to the 122-19, which will take me back to High Buston. Now standing on a parish boundary line, so I've now gone into the 103-15. I've had a rethink. I'm just about to do the 137-45, which is close to a place called Shortridge Hall. The right of way itself's about 880 metres, and the total route is about 1.3 miles. Okay, that's the right of way completed. Didn't take too long. I'm now walking alongside the A1068, and it's about a half a mile back to the car, which is parked near Shortridge Hall. That's all for today. I'll see you next time next week.